What is the Bakersfield Sound? All right. What is the Bakersfield Sound? You know,
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the Lone Star Spin! The party starts right here, right now! Please welcome the one, the only DJ Lamar!
Check it out. So today, while I'm pulling this up, we are going to discuss something I wanted to talk about a while ago, and I totally forgot. The Nashville Sound had the opposite. The Bakersfield Sound. And I did some research, and I realized something. I realized Dirty Willie had some backing. So let's get into what I'm talking about when I mean Dirty Willie had some backing. What is the Bakersfield Sound? All right. What is the Bakersfield Sound? You know, I really, to be honest with you, thought the Nashville Sound was it.
He said, son,
But back in the 1950s, late 50s, they decided to get rid of honky-tonk. They decided to get rid of, they popped country music. And the Bakersfield Sound, we'll get into it. What is the Bakersfield Sound? Country rock, some rockabilly, and some honky-tonks. We got to get some honky-tonks. The cultural origins are mid to late 50s in California, United States. The typical instruments of the Bakersfield Sound: the guitar. Notice the guitar. We'll talk about that in a while. Trust me, you'll understand what I'm talking about in a minute. The fiddle, the bass drum, the banjo pedal, the steel guitar, the piano, and we'll lay it down with some vocals. As you can see, I got microphones from that era. Fusion genres, country rock, progressive rock, that's what old Elvis and all those Wendinglers, and outlaw country, the Outlaws. Makes it mysterious. You know what? This makes it actually, this makes it pretty good because Johnny Cash is one of those outlaws. So it's pretty cool, man. The Bakersfield Sound is a subgenre of country music developed in the mid-1950s in around Bakersfield, California. Bakersfield is defined as the influence of rock and roll and honky-tonk style country, and its heavy use of electronic instrumentation and backbeats. It was also a reaction against the sickly production of the orchestra-laden Nashville Sound, which everybody started to hate, which was becoming popular in the 1950s. The Bakersfield Sound became one of the most popular, influential country genres of the 1960s, inventive of the latter innovative rivalry of the honky-tonk music, and influencing later country rock and outlaw country music, as well as progressive country. They're the honky-tonks and the Nashville Sound. and the Outlaws. I thought I'd throw that up there. Okay, Mr. Wynn Stewart pioneered the Bakersfield Sound while performing artists like Buck Owens and Merle Haggard were two of the most successful artists. One of the original Bakersfield era was performing in the Buckaroos and the Strangers, presenting other major Bakersfield country artists like Joan Shepard and Suzanne Rand. The Bakersfield Sound was developed at a honky-tonk bar such as the Blackboard on local television stations, Bakersfield and throughout California in the 1950s and 1960s. The town, known for main agricultural and oil production, was a destination for many Dust Bowl migrants and other Oklahoma like Okies. The Okies to California meant their music would follow the thrive, finding an audience in California's Central Valley. Bakersfield Country was reaction to the Stickley Productions, a stringy orchestra-laden Nashville sound, which was becoming popular in the 1950s. One of the first groups to make it big on the West Coast was the Maddox Brothers and Rose, who were the first to wear outlandish costumes and make a show. Okay, I am going to stop right there, and I want y'all to think about this. Look at that picture and think of I saw this picture and I was like, oh my God. They was hanging out with the Southern Brothers. Because if you think about it, man, Mexican music is derived on outlandish outfits kind of like this. They all match almost. I just had to point that out. Who wear the outlandish costumes and make a show for their performances. Artists such as Wynn Stewart use electric instruments to add it to the backbeat, as well as other synthetic elements. Borrowing from rock and roll, important influences were Desperation era country. Music superstars like Jimmy Rogers in the 1950s and the honky-tonk singer Lefty Fritzl, and in the 1940s Western singer of Bob Wills. In 1954, MGM, I don't know why he showed up, MGM, a recording artist, Bob Hobbs, recorded a Louisiana swing with Buck Owens, and on lead guitar, Bill Woods, on piano, and the dual fiddles were Oscar Willerton and Jerry Sanders. Louisiana Swing was their first song, recorded in the style known as Bakersfield Sound. In the early 1960s, Merle Haggard and Buck Owens and the Buckaroos, among others, throughout the Bakersfield Sound and the mainstream audiences, and it soon became one of the most popular country music, helping spawn rock and roll country, and later influenced country stars like Dwight Yoakam and Marty Stewart, which is the fella that just was there, and the Maverick and the Derailers. Oh, hell. I didn't want that to show up, but anyway, I didn't go in. That's okay. Jean Shepard is one of the country music's first significant female artists. Beginning her career at the West Coast in the 1950s through Capitol Records, Shepard's had a Dear John letter, which was the song, was the first major country hit single and entirely for the Bakersfield musicians. Many of her earlier recordings sessions featured prominent members such as the Bakersfield Sound movement, Louis Talley and Speedy West. Susan Ray was also a major figure in the Bakersfield Sound, practically in the 1970s with the hit song L.A. International Airport. She was one of the members of Buck Owens. Buck Owens Roadshow recorded in duets with him. Other women emerged from the West Coast country movement, including Buck Owens, Kate Adams, and Rosie Flores. Excuse me, guys. Give me a second, I get some water. All right. Two important British invasion-era rock bands displayed some Bakersfield influence. The Beatles recorded a popular version of the Owens called "Act Naturally" with Ringo Starr and lead vocals. Years later, the Rolling Stones made their connection explicit in the lyrics of the Bakersfield Sound's "Faraway Eyes," which beginnings I was driving home early Sunday morning through Bakersfield. The Bakersfield Sound was a large influence on West Coast music scene, and many small guitar companies set up in Bakersfield in the 1960s. The Marcelette Guitar Company was located in Bakersfield until the death of the company's founder, older resident Semi Mosley, in 1992. Check out, I was checking out that first guitar that I showed you earlier. That is one of his connection. That is one of his guitars. But check out that beautiful guitar, man. It's beautiful. I bet you it's got that really electric good sound. It's got the speed bar on it too. The Bakersfield music scene, remained markedly separate from the Nashville music row industry. At the same time as a major station in Nashville, the WSM did not reach California. No Bakersfield natives nor any other Californians until John Purdie achieved the feat in 2023. Were ever inducted into the cast of the WSM's flagship Grand Ole Opry. That's crazy, huh? That's crazy. Not even Dirty Willie. In an interview, I don't know why it's cut off. In an interview, Dwight Yoakam defined the term Bakersfield Sound. Bakersfield's really not exclusively to the limited town itself, but encompassing California country sound in the late 40s and 50s, and onto into the 60s and 70s, followed by the Bakersfield Sound, followed by Emilia Harris, Graham Parson, and the Burrito Brothers and the Eagles. Burrito Brothers and the Eagles. Those are the guys right there. They're all in extensions of the Bakersfield Sound, of the byproduct of it. I've got a poster of Buck Owens performing at the Fillmore West in 1968's Haight-Ashbury. What went on there led to there being a music incarnation called country rock. Oh yeah, and I don't know if there would have been a John Fogerty's and Clarence Clearwater revival had there not been California country music that comes to be known as the Bakersfield Sound. All right, guys. I hope you like that this video. I did a lot of research on this, and I was so enthused because the Bakersfield Sound is very, very interesting. Because here at the time, Hockey Talk was big with Hank Williams. And that era. So there was a lot of Southern influence on country music. There's a big influence. But as you could see, that even on the West Coast, even in California, could you believe California came up with the greatest people? Here's a little story that I heard, and I'm going to close with this. There's a boy, he was 16 years old. He loused up his guitar, and he went to the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. He came out on stage for amateur, because they have an amateur hour. It's kind of like at the Showtime at the Apollo. The same thing. The same thing. And that's what happened. He got out there, and they ran him off. And one of the guys told him to keep his day job. Well, guess what? Elvis became. I want to say that if you want me to do one on, I think I did one on them. I think I did one. But if you want me to do one on swivel hips, type swivel hips down below. And I want to tell y'all, man, it's been a good one. I want to get into a couple I'm going to do once a week. So we're going to start doing this once a week. Leave in a comment below who you want to know more about, and I will deep dive, and we'll get into it, and we will check it out, and we will bring receipts. All right? With this, I am out.
Like it and comment it sub right now. DJ's out.